The legendary Coco Chanel, the woman who changed the world of fashion, is one such icon. Coco Chanel, the most revolutionary stylist of the 1900s, is the founder of the House of Chanel. She rose beyond the limitations set forth for women in her era, became a groundbreaking designer, an innovative creator, and shaped the world of fashion as we know it today. This is her story. Her real name is Gabrielle Chanel. She was born on August the 19th, 1883 in Saumur, France. The family lived in poverty, and when Chanel lost her mother at the age of 12, her father placed her in an orphanage. Even though life was rough and miserable in the orphanage, the poor conditions and hard times of her childhood did not break her spirit, but rather hardened her resolve to take control of her life and stand up for herself as soon as she could. Years later, upon reflection, she would say, "If you were born without wings, do nothing to prevent them from growing." During her 6 years' stay at the orphanage, Chanel learned how to sew. When she left the orphanage, she found a job as a seamstress. Even though her childhood is far from the luxury that is associated with her name, she was determined to rise above it. When not sewing, she was singing on the stage in a local cabaret called La Rotonde, where she became very popular and acquired the nickname Coco. She was an enticing young woman with an impeccable wit and charm, and she would easily earn the affections of wealthy young men who saw her on the stage. Some of these wealthy admirers became the financial backers of her business endeavours. Chanel's professional life began in 1906, when she became the mistress to a French textile heir, Etienne Balsan, who set her up as a milliner, not as a profession, but as something to pass the time. Chanel, however, was not looking for a hobby, far from it. She was determined to make a profession out of it. Everything changed when Chanel met a wealthy English man, Boy Capel, who was actually one of Balsan's close friends. He soon became the love of Chanel's life. Chanel left Balsan for him. Capel admired her taste and shared Chanel's passion for fashion. He took her to Paris and, within a year, on January the 1st, 1910, she opened her first millinery establishment called Chanel Modes on Rue Cambon. She primarily designed and sold hats. And that is how it all began. The doors to her first boutique in Deauville opened in 1913, where she introduced a collection of sportswear. Her premier line was mostly made from jersey. Chanel's selection of this fabric was the beginning of changing everything in women's fashion. She proclaimed at the opening of her boutique that she wanted to give women the possibility to laugh and eat without necessarily having to faint. Her relaxed fashions, short skirts, and the casual look were in sharp contrast to the corset fashions of the previous decades. Chanel rose to fame and became a popular figure, but unfortunately, despite her success in the forefront of fashion, a personal tragedy shook her core. In 1919, when her beloved Capel died in a car accident, Chanel said, "Either I die as well or finish what we started together." It was then that Chanel started experimenting with black cloth. Some say she did it so that all women in France would mourn her beloved. Despite her tough, personal time, Chanel meticulously continued her work. This time, Chanel wanted to create a scent that could describe the new, independent, modern woman. The history of its inception is both mystical and controversial. While she was on a holiday with her new lover the Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich, she was introduced to a Russian perfumer. Chanel told the perfumer to come up with a scent that smells like a woman, not a rose. He came up with 10 samples for her. She chose sample number 5. The name number 5 is because she chose sample number 5, and because a fortune teller once told her that her lucky number was 5. She then chose a bottle that was designed to resemble a whiskey decanter, and that was how the world's most iconic perfume, Chanel No. 5, was born. It was well received with women all around the world. It became a popular scent among the celebrities too. Even Marilyn Monroe promoted Chanel's perfume when she told reporters that all I wear to bed is a few drops of Chanel No. 5. To this day, Chanel No. 5 is a top seller, and according to NPR, one bottle is sold every 30 seconds. Chanel was determined to leave her own footprints on the fashion canvas, and nothing would allow her to achieve it better than a logo. She designed the interlocking CC logo herself. It became instantly recognizable and became a huge part of the brand's image. In time, the logo became synonymous to luxury, wealth, and elitism. Chanel's designs were revolutionary and out of the box for the time. She emphasized comfort over the traditional corsets and confining garments. She created the Chanel suit with a collarless jacket and fitted shirts, in tweed and gabardine with the hardware CC logo. She also created a classic piece of women's clothing known as the little back dress, when the black colour was reserved for mourning. In 1926, Vogue published a drawing of a simple black dress with long narrow sleeves, accessorized with a string of pearls. The publication dubbed it as Chanel's Ford, meaning it was simple and accessible to all women. It quickly became a cult clothing and acquired a status symbol. Unfortunately, in 1939, despite the enormous success of her clothing line, Coco Chanel was forced to close all her shops and the House of Fashion due to World War II. She stayed in Paris during the war. However, after the war, due to the rumours of her affair with a German SS commander during the war, Chanel moved to Switzerland and lived there for 10 years. However, this is not where her story ends. Determined to move on in the direction of her dreams, at the age of 71, Chanel came back to Paris. She rented a small 2-bedroom apartment at her favourite Hotel Ritz and got involved with the fashion industry again. She presented her new collection, but the critics could not find anything new. That was her secret, for she believed her pieces were elegant, timeless, and complete, so that nothing new was needed for a comeback. It took a while for everyone else to realise it. In 1955, she launched the iconic quilted handbag with its signature gold chain and logo. It became the most copied bag in the world. In 1957, she launched the two-tone shoes. She then created the pink suit worn by Jacqueline Kennedy on the day the president was assassinated. Chanel's suit became a status symbol for a new generation and has remained the same to this date. On January the 10th, 1971, Chanel died in her exquisite suite at the Hotel Ritz in Paris at the age of 87. Her last words to her maid Celine were, "You see, this is how you die." Chanel is a private company owned by the Wertheimer family and continues to thrive. It reported sales of nearly $10 billion for the 2017 fiscal year. Even though her renowned couture house and its thriving business is part of her legacy, Chanel herself has also lived on through her extraordinary personal qualities, her strong, confident, ambitious and straightforward character, and her purposeful life. Coco Chanel was named as one of the 100 most influential women of the 20th century by the Time magazine. She is best known by her bold statements. Dress shabbily, and they remember the dress. Dress impeccably, and they remember the woman. In order to be irreplaceable, one must be different. Don't spend time beating on a wall, hoping to transform it into a door. Elegance is when the inside is as beautiful as the outside. Please comment, share, like and subscribe for more awesome videos.